Okay, I'm recording this for day 4 of logs. This is for Wednesday, the 7th of May, and I'm just recording this for you guys so that you can have a quick lesson on how to do your worksheet for today. It's going to be very fast and a lot quicker than normal, so pay full attention here for a few minutes. All right, first of all, if you're going to try to solve an equation that's got an x on the end of it, then that means when you rewrite it, you're going to rewrite it with 9 to the power of x equals 81. 9 to the x equals 81. All right, so how am I going to solve that? Well, basically, if I don't have a calculator, that's the key thing here, without a calculator, then I'm stuck because this is the kind you can't solve in your head. You can't just put a 2 in unless you happen to have the numbers work out nice, like this one worked out nice. Then I can say, okay, well, 9 squared is 81. I happen to know that. But as soon as they change the problem to be like 80, well, then you won't be able to do it. All right, so here's the key. We have set these all up so that these are going to end up working out nicely without a calculator. We don't expect you to know what the log of 3 is. It's some weird decimal. Okay, so these are all going to work out nice when you set them up. Now, if you rewrite them, you will be able to see the problem, and from there, hopefully you can just kind of use either guess and check, or you can use different strategies of math to solve them. This one I can just look at and say, well, 9 to the second is 81, so x equals 2. That is good enough. Done with A. All right, but this one, a lot of people get confused because if it's 25 to the x equals 5, that's kind of backwards of what they're used to. 25 to a power equals 5. How do you shrink something down? You have to think it through and think 25 to what power would be 5? Oh, that's the square root. How can square root be a power? Because it is a fraction power. The square root is 1/2. So then I can say 25 to the 1/2. That needs to be 1/2. So what are we saying? X needs to equal 1/2. All right, so rewrite these things as the first step. This one goes 1/6 to the x 1/6 to the x equals 1/36. Then you think to yourself, what do I have to do with the power here to make it equal 1/36? And once you know what the answer is, you can say that. X equals whatever. Now, one more strategy on these. If I can make the bases the same, then the exponent is the answer. So watch. If this one here can be rewritten as 1/6 squared, then I've really rewritten the problem to be log base 1/6 of 1/6 squared equals x. And do you get how by rewriting this, I have got it down to where this and this are the same? And if they are, the answer is the exponent. So if you want to rewrite them, like here, if I can rewrite that with a 4 to a power, if I can make that into log base 4 of 4 to the something, I would have the answer. All right, make sure you show some work on each of these problems. This one, I'll give you a hint. 49 to the square root of 3, the cube root of 49 is really 49 to the 1/3 power. But that doesn't work because you have a log base 7. So you got to say to yourself, how could I make this 49 into a 7 to the something? And then you'll get a new power, 7 to the something, and it'll be a fraction. All right, enough hints on that. Let's move on to the bottom part of the worksheet. I need to clear the ink off of here. And on this kind, these are not going to work out nicely. It says with a calculator. So starting in this part, you can just use the calculator. So don't rewrite it, because 7 to the x equals 36 doesn't help you. Well, you can rewrite it and then look at it and realize, I don't know what, some strange decimal is the answer. So therefore, you can use a calculator. And therefore, you can type in log 36 over log 7. That's how you do a base change. It used to be base 7, and now you've rewritten it in a way that's actually got 2 base 10s in it. So you go log 36 on the calculator, divide by log 7 on the calculator. You get your answer. It's a decimal, and that's all there is to that. This one's a little trickier. 5 to the power of x plus 5, that's a big hint. I just rewrote it for you. Now you have to figure out what power would make that work. Well, if you only knew what, oh wait, actually that wasn't a great way to do it. Forget that. On this one, I would do this part in the calculator and get a decimal for it. log 81 over log 5. Once you got the decimal for it, do you get how if this is like, 1.67 or whatever it is, it's really easy to solve after that? Okay, and then let's move to the bottom section of the worksheet. Again, this is just a quick lesson for when I'm gone. I wouldn't normally do my lesson like this, but I'm absent today and I wanted you to get some help from me. On this, if I rewrite this, I'm going to rewrite it as x over 5 to the third equals 64 over 27. X over 5 to the power of 3 equals 64 over 27. Now on this one, you might think you want to somehow rewrite the base, but you can't rewrite this and have an x in it, so you can't make it the same as that. So instead of that, I'm going to clear this off again. Instead of that, I have a better way for you on this kind of problem. I would cube both sides. Please stay quiet. I would cube both sides. Sorry, cube root both sides like that. And then this cancels this. And x over 5 equals all of that. Remember, calculators are allowed in here. So you're going to do 64. Oh, wait a minute. Let me double check the directions. If calcs are allowed, you do it with the calculator right now. If calcs are not allowed, then you would do it in your head. Actually, I bet you this is a calcs not allowed part of the worksheet because this one works out really nice. It's the cube root of two things. Cube root of 64 is 4, and the cube root of 27 is, what do you think? I think that's 3. That's right. So basically, I have got it down to x over 5 equals a cube root of 64, which was 4, over cube root of 27 is 3. And now this is simple algebra. If you can't solve that, I have a place for you in an algebra class. All right. And in case you're really stuck, multiply by 5. Okay, the very, very last section. It all comes down to rewriting. Have you noticed that I've rewritten these problems almost every single time? And if you once you rewrite it, you a lot of times can see the equation that results. And then the equation that you've got gives you your final answer. All right, so if I rewrite this puppy, I would go x to the 4th equals 4. Think about this. That to the that equals that. And then what to the 4th is 4? It's not as simple as you might think. It's not 1, because 1 to the 4th isn't 4. It's definitely not 2. That'd be 16. So something between 1 and 2. Put it to the power of 1/4. And you might be saying, you want me to get the 4th root of 4? Use a calculator. So make sure if you're in the section that says use a calculator that you use the calculator, because you probably can't do it any other way. But if you're in the part like up here, these kind of problems, you can do them without the calculator. Again, this would be like 2 to the x equals 32 to the 1/4. And look, you can get common bases here and here. You just got to rewrite your 32 as 2 to the something. So the theme for the worksheet is rewrite the problem. Once you've rewritten it out of log form, it'll be a normal equation. And then solve the equation like normal. And that's all I have for your lesson for Wednesday. Have a great day. Hey, only 8 minutes, 40 seconds long.